Yeah. It was good to see you this past weekend, Bruce.
You as well.
Uh, what'd you say, Ryan?
It's a lot of fun having them here.
Yeah. Ryan said you were a blast to have. Scott said the same thing on Sunday. All right.
I
So
appreciate you not hurting me.
Bruce said he appreciates you not hurting. All right. So what we want to do this evening, we'll warm up a little bit and we'll work a little bit on the technique that you were working on the knife hand with the uh, roll back and squeeze or mirror hand as we know it. Uh, and I also want to pick up on the process of the difference between pressurizing your feet, shifting your weight, and then also twisting into your hip. Okay, and twisting into your hip will change a lot of things for you, and it's done a lot in the Tai Chi once you get to that level of knowing where you're supposed to be. And quick demo, and then we'll get into our warming up. Is that a lot of times it doesn't matter which one I'm doing. If I'm doing single whip, and once I extend my knee out, as I'm shifting my weight, my legs are twisting. Okay, they're not just slopping forward; they are twisting into it. And it's not my knees twisting my knees twisting past my feet. That would cause me a lot of problems. Right. What I'm trying to do is learn to drive and then twist a little bit right in here. Okay. And once you get it, what it'll do is it'll feel like the legs kind of tighten up in the sense that they're sturdy as compared to being sloppy and loose. Okay. And it takes a practice to do that. It helps to have some other experiences, and that's what I'm going to try to call on. Because the sensation is there. Once you have it, you'll know it. Then it's just a matter of trying to find it on a regular basis. And it's not as pronounced as you might think, but when it's there, you'll know it. Let's Dragon whips his tail, loosen up a little bit. Mhm. Do one more to each side. Ugh. Okay, right leg forward. Tiger licks its mane. Okay, I'm gonna switch that up. Two more. Good. Now it's been a while since we pulled this one out, but I want to make sure it's part of the regular routine. Chin to toe. Get it out. Sit in it a little bit. Extend the spine. Good. When that's extended, then you can round it out a little bit. Try not to tear a hammy. Good. Let's bring it up because we like it. We love it. We want some more of it. We do the other side. Out. Extend. Oh, yes. And pray. Oh, Ryan. Look at that. I'm I can beat Ryan on something. We can get you there tonight, man. We'll just call 911, have them ready. Well, I won't have to worry about that for a couple of years. Uh, I'll be able to hear you coming with your clunk leg. Get up. Sorry. Sorry, y'all have to be witness to such childishness, but we can't help it. Yes. All right. All right. Let's bring it feet about shoulder width apart. I'm just turning so y'all can hear me and they can see me. Hands float. Settle down. Bend the knees a little bit. Palms facing the lower abdomen. Look for you to just breathe in nice and full, usually around a count of 3 to 4. And as you exhale slowly, around the count of 7. Okay. We'll do about 7 reps. Fill up your whole body. Let the arms rise to the level of the heart. Find the balance between your feet. We spoke about this in a mental mail a few weeks ago about in Tai Chi, for example, and most of the internal arts is balancing the 6 sides. And balance up and down so that your hips feel like they settle on your feet, while at the same time the top of your head is balanced and rising equally toward the sky. You balance the front and the rear. And since we're at practice, we're safe. There's no reason that we can't let go of any stress, sickness, or sadness so that we can balance the inner with the outer. Now, to help us a little bit, we're going to use the posting as a platform to start to feel the reeling silk a little bit. And I used to call this one the mason jar exercise because I remember my grandmother helping me or asking me to help her open up like the pickle jar, the okra jar, things like that. In between your two palms, you have a mason jar. One's on the lid, one's on the bottom of the jar. In your mind, I want you to take and just not without a whole lot of strength here in the beginning, just imagine, just twist the jar open. And then return to neutral. Twist the bar closed. And then return to neutral. Back and forth, move at your own pace. A couple more. Return to neutral. Now, just as an observational question, if you get fatigued while I'm talking with you, just allow your arms to gently float back down to the resting position. No problem with that. And then when you're ready, come back up into the work position. Okay. But ask yourself the next time we do the exercise, could you sense your lower body trying to engage? If you keep your weight divided between left and right and front and back, and you start to twist the mason jar, you may feel what they call the gua, the lower torso, the lower abs. You may feel them trying to twist along with your intention. Okay. That's twisting into the hip. As long as you're not shifting your weight, you can feel it twist into it, twist with it. That makes sense, Ryan?
Doing it without thinking.
Perfect. But now you have a label for it. I knew you would do it. I just didn't know how to explain it. Okay. Now the next exercise, and this will be the last one to help us find it, is now what we're going to do is we're going to pull. Okay. So one arm's going to feel like it's pulling away as the other one is pushing as the other one's pulling, almost like they're sliding in one direction. And then go back the other way. Now you can apply 25% strength. Once you start to get about 40 to 50% of your strength pushing and pulling, you will almost definitely feel the lower torso get engaged. But I don't want you shifting your weight with it a whole lot right now. I want you to feel that torso twisting into the hips. One more round. And return to neutral. Take a few breaths. Spread out the hands a little bit. Open the clouds. Stand up with pride. Good. Good. All right. Any observations or comments? Okay. For the most part, yeah, if you're just moving your hands and arms, it won't have the same sensation to it. That's why I give you the idea of like the mason jar. It automatically stimulates a little bit of more texture, right, in your work. You ladies, did y'all notice anything while you were doing it? No, not nothing in particular. Okay, your arms are sore. Okay, so one of the things that the last point of all that is just as a reminder, you can find almost anything and everything you want in your Kung Fu in your posting. All you got to do is go to the place and look for it. Have the right questions for yourself, right? Sifu Chin would sometimes say, you imagine that you're in a large room and the lights are off and you're trying to find the light switch, right? How do you do that? Right? You're 100% attentive and you're sensing the whole time while you're there, right? You have no idea, right? That was one of his stories. The other one was three blind men find an elephant, and none of them know what it is they actually found because they only pay attention to one little spot. But the point being is that when you put the mind in the right place, you can use the post, and if you slow it down, to find what it is you're looking for. All right. So did you feel? How about Bruce? Did you feel it working in your hips a little bit? Just give me a thumbs up. Okay. Good. All right. All right. So when we are working and twisting into the hips, as Bob was saying, yeah, you feel your whole body engage. Now, when we were doing the cutting hand, what Brian and Scott and the folks affectionately called the ninja hands, is that, do you call it that too, Kim? Is that the only name you have for it? Uh-huh. Okay. You just, hey, okay. Cut press. Okay. All right. No, it doesn't matter what you call it as long as we know what we're talking about. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to practice the ninja hands or the knife hand with double squeeze, right? And they call it the double squeeze because we call it the mirror hand. That's the shape of the hands. But in actuality, it's called the double squeeze or double push because it usually ends up doing this sort of action, right? This is one of the ways that you can interpret it as the double squeeze. You can also think about squeezing and pushing the head. All right, I'm not going to do that. But the idea, if you're going to practice it sometimes, like Kathy and I were practicing earlier, is you can practice it without moving your feet, but you can practice shifting, pressurizing, and twisting into your hip. So if I push, I tell you what, Ron, if you don't mind, you get here, let them follow you, and then I'm going to turn here. So we're going to start with my right hand, and we're going to knife hand across the center. When I do that, my weight naturally twists into my left hip. Now, as I press, as Ryan would say, in the Chinese, they would call this snake spits poison, right? When the hand twists out. Good. You notice how now Ryan's twisted into his right hip. Okay. Now, Kathy, check yourself. Try not come back to neutral here. Okay. This is one of the things you want to avoid. And Ryan and I were just talking about this earlier, is that when you cut and you knife hand out, when you get ready to press, you want to twist into the hip, right? You'll feel about 67% of your waist there, but you don't want your body to be over it. You don't want your ass to be past it. Okay. You want to be right over that foot. This is why y'all started this posting. Notice nothing moved on this side of my body. So if you're leaning and you try to do what I just did, the first thing you're going to do is go, oh, crap, I can't get over there. Right? All right. So there we are. From here, the left hand is going to pull down and you're going to twist a little bit more into that hip. Don't shift your weight past it. Just twist into it like it's the mason jar. Turn it in. Turn into it. That empties the left knee. So the left knee raises up, it extends, and now as one unit, you shift into it, and that's the pressing squeeze. Okay, let's just do that side a couple more times after we address any observations or questions. No? Okay. All right. So right hand, shift over to the right leg, and now twist into it as you throw out the pressing hand. Now, think, pull with the left, raise the left knee, out, spine upright, pressing, and out. Good. Okay. One more time with the feet fairly still. Okay. Shift, out, pull, up, and shout. Okay. It may be helpful to have the application piece. So Ryan, if Ryan throws here, I'm just coming across and I'm cutting across. In this particular example, I'm going to press out here. Okay. Open hands, soft weapons to hard targets, and nothing's harder than his head. Right. So we get here. Okay. From here, when we roll back, in this case, I got two primary options in this case. First is I would try to roll his head, right? And roll his head, give it a knee, and then discard. Okay, one more time, I'm going to do the same technique. Okay. Now, the other one would be is get in here and press, and maybe I can't get around his head because it goes there. I don't want to reach. So I'm just going to short leash the elbow and then go this way. Okay. And so that would look a little bit more like this. Boom, boom, boom. And back up and over. So when you see here, when this is raking back, it doesn't care what it catches. You know, it's going to try to get the head. That's why at the end, you see that hand roll over. Okay. So it's not, it's got to have texture. This is the reeling silk part, right? Because as this is reeling over, you see what this hand starts to do? It's like, this one's already started, because as you saw here, when I pull back, this one is rolling back. This one is curling too, just like the mason jar exercise. So if I'm not pushing, sliding, I'm twisting. Sometimes I'm doing them at the same time. All right, so let's try it again. This time have that texture in there, right? You can feel yourself roll over. So cut with the right, press out. Now roll the hand, roll both the hands, twist them. You'll feel your legs doing the same thing now, just like you did in the posting. Then up, lift that knee. Now as you shift forward, you're twisting and pushing. So you ideally, your legs, and I'll do it again, okay? Your legs and all will feel like they're participating in the twisting just like they did in the posting, okay? So it shouldn't just feel like you know, here, and you just throw it out there. It's got here, and then as they're coming forward, if I had little markers on my legs, you would see them twisting and coiling inside of there, okay? Right there. Yeah, you feel that? You,
Like through the dodge.
okay, yeah. Yeah. I used to tease Ryan and then when we're at the Queen that my favorite Kung Fu jersey would be almost like a prison uniform, right? It would have a stripe right down the middle and your pants, one right down the back, one down the side, so that I could show you physically on yourself going, no, see, you're not turning your waist, right? You're supposed to turn and twist, and then you would see that stripe roll over. Okay. You with me? All right. Do a couple on your own. That's good, Kim. I like to see you reel the silk a little bit more when you're coming back. Right here. Don't, not here. Here. Twist from the legs. Here. Step. Bring the knee up. Do it again. Here. Good. Now, right here. Good. Now, step out. Now. Twist through the, there you go. Good. Did you see how that rounded it out immediately? If you'll twist your legs, you almost don't have to think about making the circles because they'll almost happen by themselves. Yes, sir. You don't have to think about it, right? Because when you do it, you get in here. When you twist the legs, the hands naturally arc out. They almost can't help it. What are you thinking, Bob?
Past couple of weeks.
Collapse that leg. Okay. Yeah, that'll work. Well, you know, the one thing I've learned over the years is whatever works in your mind as far as talking to yourself is right if it gets it done. If it gets it done, I don't care what language you say it in or what color, right? You just got to be able to keep. That's where you hear that weird stuff. I keep it. Mason jar exercises, Dungeon Tim. These are all the ways I communicate to myself. Okay, good. Are we ready to do the other side? All right, let's try it. Same idea. Left hand cuts across the middle. There you go. Press. Now pull and twist. Lift the right knee, extend, twist the legs, press out. Okay, let's do the left side again. There you go. It'll help. It'll help. Do it again, Karen. If you imagine when you're practicing, just real like that. See what just happened? This is coming like the cut with that hand. There. Good. This way. Yeah. This way. Now. There you go. Go ahead, cut. And now press. Good. And just roll down and press. Okay. But don't worry so much about it. Imagine just go ahead. Just there you go, like a fly coming to you. You're going, no. That's what helps if you can just to pretend, oh no, right? Oh no. It doesn't have to be violent, right? All it has to do is be playful enough that you can see a little cat or something pawing at you. Go, come on. All right. Good. Okay. Well, so hopefully one of the things that you'll notice with this exercise too is the constant silk reeling. Okay. That there's always this circling, and there's two ways to reeling the silk primarily for y'all right now. One is just having that mason jar feeling that the hands are turning, and the other is the sliding. That's why we did those two exercises. Because when I come here, the reeling silk piece, this hand is curling. My left hand is curling so the palm is up. This one is curled so the palm is down. Now the reeling silk is the yang hand turning in. So my left hand pulling back, and as it does, it allows the other hand to go out. Nice. Good. And then from here, the reeling the silk again, because as this hand folds, this hand's rolling. This is that mason jar feeling. And now they both press and squeeze. That's where later on you'll have that, but you'll see that like you're taking a big bowling ball and rolling it over and handing it up. Okay. All right. Y'all can practice that all, don't even worry about moving your feet too much. Just practicing it from like a coffee table size sort of action. I would like for you to practice lifting your knee on the rollback. So when you get into the rollback, irregardless of which side you do, when you roll back, practice twisting into it and then lift the knee, extend it, and then twist into it. Okay. And by twisting, I mean twist the lower body just a little bit as you shift forward. One of the things that some of the folks will tell you over the years that you'll really feel is a lot of times when you're practicing Tai Chi, right, your legs will be sore the next day. They'll be a little bit sore because you're using them in a new way and activating them in ways they're not normally used to working. Like Bob was saying, sometimes you're used to, shifting your weight forward and the legs collapse. Now you're just a one-legged person, right? Because this has no stability. Right? I mean, I couldn't take any pressure from any direction. All right, so it's about 5 after 6. Any observations or questions? Do you feel like that was enough so that you could practice it? Of course, you'll have the video up, and that's what's yes. Okay. All right. How about online? Any questions?
Thank you, Sifu.